got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
What's up, you beautiful collectors and Transformer fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the incredible support of my patrons, Optibotimus Plus channel members, and those of you that just hit that thumbs up button, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series 86 of the Deluxe Class KUP. For the package, much like all the Studio Series figures, you do have that open window that fully showcases the figure. You got the Transformers text, the Generation logo. Of course, as I said, this is part of the Studio Series 86 line, which is an homage to the Transformers the movie that came out in 1986. You got that really cool artistic image of KUP there. You got an up-close image of him. He's not too happy. The other side here has a more pulled-back image of what we see there. And then you come around to the back of the package, and you got images of him in his robot and his vehicle mode that he transforms in 21 steps. And of course, because big screen inspired, all that fun stuff, he does come with a backdrop, which is basically being him ripped apart by a giant mechanical squid, which was always fun. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have KUP opened up out of his packaging and obviously in his vehicle mode. And being part of the Studio Series, he does come with his backdrop, which is from when him and KUP crashed on the Quintesson homeworld. And unfortunately, he seemed to crash into like a ocean sort of thing where he was attacked by this giant mechanical squid, where he was subsequently saved by Hot Rod. And this kind of comes into play with one of his actual features, but this is really nice. Of course, you got the Studio Series 86, Transformers, the movie logo right down there. But there you go. Now, as for KUP himself, this was one that, I'll be totally honest, I was a little on the fence about of sorts. Not so much because of the vehicle mode. This looks fantastic. There's an aspect of his robot mode, which I'll get to, but it initially kind of put me off until I got him in hand, and he really actually grew on me. Now, as you can see, you can store his weapons. He comes with the blaster. You can just tab that in there. He also comes with a container of Energon goodies. This is really fun. You can see that this is painted in his greenish sort of plastic, and then the Energon goodies are clear. So this entire piece appears to be a clear piece that's just painted, but the bottom section here where he holds it, it's just a 5mm peg and holds it fairly fine, but it's clear. And then you got the upper section here, which is kind of hard to see. Oh, there you can kind of see it. But that's the little Energon goodie, which comes in perfect in case, you know, you got these guys and you need to give them Energon goodies, because, you know, that's the way it is. So again, all of these new Transformer figures, the lines kind of blur with each other. This guy, while he's a part of the Earthrise line, can easily fit in a animated movie display. I'm absolutely loving all of that, but you do have those. Got a couple different Autobot logos. You got one there. You got one here in the center section, another one on that side. A lot of Autobot. I mean, there are more Autobot logos than, I mean, hell, almost everybody. I'm looking at Blur here. Let's do some comparisons. I mean, his is a little tiny one right there, and that's it. But for some movie figures, let's do it. Here is Hot Rod and obviously Blur. And size-wise, I think they work very, very well together. They're all deluxe figures, so I mean, I guess it makes sense that they're going to scale decently. So I'm really very, very happy with how that turned out. And of course, these are all Studio Series figures, so it works. Now for another comparison, the KUP that I've had in my collection has been the Titans Return one here. Now this is specifically the Takara one, which has a more accurate paint scheme and couple remolded parts, including a new head sculpt on him that just makes him look a lot better. But you can see, color-wise, almost the exact same. This might have a little bit darker of a green, but this light section, that blends in very nicely. And while this looked really good, it absolutely had that shape. This is far more accurate, especially like when you look at the back kind of truck bed area. I mean, at least it's kind of like indented here. It very much looks like it should, whereas this one, it kind of had that, but it was pretty much flat across the board. In general, while I absolutely adored this figure when it first came out, this has now been replaced with this guy. It's just, for me, that damn good. Now, for his transformation, we're going to come around here to the bottom, take these. It's a little bit tricky to pull these away. These are his arms. Obviously, they're his arms. Can't you tell? Just pull that away so that you can loosen this piece up. And then this, split up around, and then you can bring this around. You got a little tab right here that will lock that in place just like that. And then this is a little bit tricky to do. This piece up here tabs in, but it's hard to kind of pull it away. There you go. Pull that out, and now this entire section will actually hinge out a little. You can kind of see it shift. You want to have it shifted in when you go into the vehicle mode. You want to shift it out when you go into the robot mode. So then bring that up, put that along the side. Do that on this side as well. You can kind of wiggle this away. There we go. Just like that. Pull this out. Pull it away from the body, and then bring that down just like that. And then just kind of angle these, get that a little bit out of the way. Kind of loosen all this here, just like that. And pull that away from the body of sorts, and then straighten that a little bit more. Then come around here. I'm just kind of clearing things up. You want to pull this away, angle this, and then close this back up. Do that on this side as well. Pull that away, straighten out the leg, close that back up, and then you can fold the feet out here, which a little bit tricky because fingernails and such. There we go. Pull that out, and come on. There we go. Pull that out just like that, and then you can straighten out his legs just a little bit. And come around here now. We're going to pull this. Oh, well, oops. That's kind of a spoiler. So kind of pull that away. Something like that. And then angle this out. There we go. And then pull that out. Angle that out. And then you're going to pull this back. Straighten this piece up. Just like that. Now these pieces, you're going to rotate these around to the back section. And when you do it, make sure that this little black section here that is attached to his head, make sure that gets all the way down. And then you're going to take these and kind of put these over here. That will lock that into place. But you have to make sure that you get that right. And then when you do, that locks that down so that doesn't move around or anything like that. Take this, you're going to rotate this around, and then you bring this down. You got little posts right here that are going to lock into the backpack. Give that a little push. Bring these down. Now, this part right here, this does get a little bit tricky just because it locks in fairly solidly. You can see you got a separate section here from the shoulder. You want to rotate that all the way around and lock that into place and then push that down. Then you can rotate the arm down. But like I said, that whole assembly here kind of locks in fairly securely. So let's see, you kind of push that down and then swivel this up and around. That locks into place very nicely. Did I do that the right way? No, I didn't push that all the way in. Oh, wait. Come on. Oh. That's going to spoil everything. So let's see, get that. There we go. Push that all the way in. Rotate these arms and then spin his head around. And when you're done, there you have Coot himself, the old man, grouchy as he is. Let's make sure that those are all completely compressed. But when you're done, like I said, there you have him in his robot mode. And honestly, like I said, this guy really has grown on me. For his accessories, as you can see, I mean, he holds them perfectly fine. There's no problem with any of those. Like I talked about with his Energon goodies, you got the little post right there that he just holds on to. That looks a little bit weird, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But the part that I thought always was kind of weird, honestly, were these bits. I kind of felt like they stuck out a little bit more. It kind of looked disjointed because you got this section right here and his shoulder bit is there. So it feels like his arms are set far away from his body, and it's like this is part of his upper torso. So it's weird, but it doesn't bother me as much in person. Now, a lot of other people talk about the head sculpt and not really liking that. That's also kind of a bit on him that's a little bit off, but it's still pretty decent nonetheless. As you can see, he cleans up fairly well. The backpack here sits up here, and that's, again, kind of accurate to his animation. He had a bit of a backpack there, but the color looks really good on him. Maybe if this was done in a more animation color of sorts, in terms of like this color kind of matching there, but it doesn't look bad, I don't think. Now, for some comparisons, let's get that out of the way. Since I used the other Studio Series figures, here he is with Blur and, of course, Hot Rod, and you can see that the scale here works very, very nicely. And even though, again, this is a Earthrise figure... Oh, knocking over people. Stay up there, buddy. You can see that the Alicon, I think, still scales pretty well with all of these guys. They were a little bit more stubby. So I think, in general, the overall scale is still pretty perfect. And here he is next to that Titan's Return one. And again, this is the Takara one, so his shoulders have been remolded. And you can see that it does a much better job of kind of looking like it, or looking like his animation model. So I always like this one. I prefer this one over the regular release, which is why I obviously got it. But the head sculpt you see is, I do like that one a little bit better, but obviously because it was a Headmaster thing, it's very large. And his facial expression was a little bit weirding out. It's kind of like he's smirking a little bit. He definitely looks a little bit more grumpy and has a little older of a look. You can kind of see like bags under his eyes, which I think is really cool. But again, you can kind of see that the scale is not terrible. Deluxe size figures kind of fluctuate all over the place, and it is what it is. And for a final comparison, here he is next to a Coca-Cola Tic Tac container. And coming in a little bit closer, you can definitely see that aged look on him, which I think looks okay. Again, the head sculpt isn't perfect, but it definitely does the job. Again, the shoulder thing does still look a little bit weird. I feel like his arms are set down a little bit lower than they should be as being, part of his shoulder and everything. I mean, they should be up a little bit higher. Maybe that's what kind of throws it off. I don't know. Got a nice Autobot logo right there. You got some yellow bits. Again, cleans up really very nicely. The legs look good. That compresses all fairly decently. So really, overall, I'm happy with the look. Now, his other feature is, I feel like it's something that movie Jazz would know a lot about. You can actually rip this guy apart, much like he kind of was when that squid was attacking him. Ah! Ah! Help, fix me. You could totally rip off all that stuff. So, that's kind of hilarious that they put that in there. I really do dig that, though. One thing that makes me think of, or what makes me instantly think of something like this would be like a Junkion. The fact that they could do this, have swappable parts, and easily, mix and match things. If you had, obviously, Wreck-Gar and some of the other Junkions, you could swap parts very easily. And I think that would be a really cool sort of thing to do. We have gotten rumor that we may be getting a Wreck-Gar in the future. Hopefully, they make it so that you can swap parts like this. That would be really fun. First articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you get a little bit of side to side, looks left and right, a little bit of up and down, all that fun stuff. Shoulders are on pin hinge joints, so you can rotate that all the way around, hinge that out. Rotates at the middle part of the bicep, fairly stiff on there too, so that there's good enough friction there that it's not going to just like fall off. I do like that. He's got fairly soft ratchet joints at the elbow, and you can see you get that's about 90. That's a real good range of motion there. I really do like that. He does rotate at the wrist, or does? Oh yeah, he does. That's just really. I thought he did. Maybe he doesn't. No, maybe he doesn't. It kind of looks like he would, but no, maybe. No, don't try doing that because you might break something. He does rotate at the waist, very stiff there. Hips here move forward, back, in and out, rotates at the upper part of the thigh, bends at the knee again. Soft ratchet joints there. That's kind of interesting that they're using that. And then you can point with the toe, and he does have ankle tilt, which is really nice to see. So all the articulation basically is there. I kind of wish he did rotate at the wrists, but that's not terrible, I don't think. But really a fun figure. Really a very, very fun figure that, like I said, initial pictures, I just wasn't into them. But getting them in hand, I've really kind of grown to like him a lot. Now, for his transformation, we're going to just straighten out his arms, do all that fun stuff, take the toes. You can point that back. Come around here to this section. You can loosen this piece up. You can pull that up and away like that. Come around here to the back section. Pull this away. You can extend all of this out like so. These arms, you're going to lift this, pull that up like that, get that out of the way, and then bring these pieces around. Oh, detach the head area. Rotate these around. These are going to tab in on the side there, and then you're going to take his head and just kind of straighten that there, just like that. Then angle this. You want to bend him at the waist and bring all this kind of down like so. This does get a little bit tricky to do, to feed everything around, but just kind of angle that all the way down. Bring this up, and then you're going to bring these arms underneath here. Bring these. Oh, I forgot. This is the pain in the butt part. So you need to take this. Let me bring this back up. I totally forgot about this. This part here, you need to rotate this around, but it does get, like I said, really stiff in there. So kind of push from the... Oh, he detaches in more spots, apparently. Like I said, I don't particularly like this section here. So kind of pull this back. There we go. Now, that section, that's really stiff right there. So once you loosen it, it's not bad, but it is a pain in the butt. Now let's see. Let's get this one, see if that one goes a little bit easier. I should not have skipped that. I apologize, my friends. Oh, and I popped this tire off. All sorts of stuff is going wrong now with this video review. Either that or maybe it's just, you know, the old man himself is a little bit fragile. Pull this back. Yeah, see, that's really, it's really stiff, and there's not a real good leverage point there. So you're kind of like, there we go. There we are. All right, so now that's done, right? All right, so let's bring this back up. Bring that there. You're going to bend him at the waist all the way around. Keep this up. And collapse this as much as you can. And this is going to come up over his head. Just kind of push all that there. That's just going to sit there. There we go. That's going to come across up and over like that. But bring these in, kind of get these legs out of the way. It's a little bit fiddly, honestly. Bring this back and through. Get that out of the way. Bring this back. Bring the arms down and through. So it's going to be kind of like this right now. And then you can kind of tab this in right there, and that will lock in on the side there. That already locked in on the side there. Come around here, you want to fold this middle piece down, and then you're going to bend him at the knee and then bring this back up. Now, there are two specific hole sections underneath here. So when you have them in robot mode, that keeps it locked in straight. You want to bend it, and that aligns with the other hole section. So do that so that you know the proper sort of positioning for that. Now these, we're going to swivel these up like that. They will hinge or slide inward, and then tab that in right there. Just make sure that's all locked into place there. So again, Fold this piece up. This will slide in, and then you can tab the little front fender thing or tire well, whatever that's called. Put that together. And squeeze all this. This piece here, you're going to fold in. Fold this one in, and then bring the two together and sandwich them together just like that. Come around here, you got little posts underneath here. Oh, let's see, get that lined up so that's tabbed in along the side. Then bring the arms up, and you have him hold on to those little posts underneath there like that. And when you're done, there you have KUP back in his vehicle mode. But a really good figure. Like I said, initially, he was not on my favorite list, but he has really grown on me. Vehicle mode-wise, I think, looks fantastic. Other than that G1 toy, this is probably the most accurate-looking KUP figure that we've gotten. I'm really impressed with it. Transformation does some new stuff, which is fun. There is some, fiddly bits, but it's not too terribly bad. And the robot mode looks really good as well. I do wish the shoulders were a little bit different and the face could be a little bit better. But all in all, I am very pleased with him. And as you can see, he looks really good with the other 86 movie crew. So absolutely, I would recommend picking this guy up. Now, if KUP is a figure that you would like to add to your collection, he is hitting various retail locations right now. So if you're looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, you can do the real simple thing and avoid all of that mess and just go to places like Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon. For that, I'll put links right down in the video description where you can go there and check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would do one very simple thing for me, and that's just to hit that thumbs up button. That one very small gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really very much appreciate it. If you can do a little bit more, consider becoming a patron or an Optibotimus Plus channel member. If you'd like information on how you can become a patron like these guys, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. Or if you want to keep all of your perks and rewards like custom emojis, loyalty badges, exclusive member live streams, Zoom calls, and the occasional giveaway like these guys do, then consider becoming a member of Optibotimus Plus. And for that, all you have to do is click on that little join button right down there. And finally, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.